Hello YouTube and welcome back to Guillotine Games. Today is an especially great day, as Satisfactory 1.0 has officially released. In this video, I will be going over my fresh start to the game now that it has released. I will also cover a few tips for new players on how to get started. I wanted a fresh start to enjoy the changes made in the game since early access. Please imagine the Disney song, "It's a Whole New World," playing right here. Sadly, copyright violation risk prevents me from including it. When you first start the game, you will be dropped onto the planet in a drop pod with a tutorial called Onboarding. You will first work toward building your hub, which includes a crafting bench. During the onboarding process, you learn the basics of using the crafting bench, portable miners and the scanner. Your initial tasks then lead you along upgrading that hub several times by gathering nearby resources and crafting what is needed on the crafting bench. On the left side of the screen you can see that I am working toward Hub Upgrade 3. On the right side of the screen you can see what components I need to perform that upgrade. In the center, I am working on the crafting bench to make these components. Although I have built some copper wire, I will need to gather additional raw materials for the iron rods and plate. The scanner is used to locate nearby resource nodes. Although there is a map, I do not yet have it unlocked. For now, I have to rely on using the scanner and some guidance from the compass to locate what I need. In the very early game, I locate and rely on nodes that are close to the hub. This allows me to automate very early. Node purity is not a concern yet, as I am more limited by the machines and conveyors I can build. Here are some close iron nodes I found with my scanner. They will be my early source of all components made with iron. I will drop a portable miner on each node. While the portable miners gather iron ore, I can go off and perform other tasks. This is a vitally important concept to learn early on. Although it can be fun to watch the portable miners collect materials, we can make better use of our time elsewhere and just return regularly to collect the iron. Now that all components are built, we can input them into the hub to perform the upgrade.
Hub Upgrade 3, Interior Furnishing, completed. The constructor can produce simple parts, and power poles allow for the expansion of the power grid. When you make the inevitable mistake, Fix-It's dismantling feature is designed to salvage all resources used during construction, in line with our zero-waste policy. We understand that Fix-It pioneers are only human, and thus prone to error. Next objective, complete Hub Upgrade 4.
Each hub upgrade grants access to additional buildable machines and tools, which you can see here in the hub interface. To complete Hub Upgrade 4, we need iron plate, cable, and concrete. Although I have unlocked the smelter and constructor, I prefer to wait until I have also unlocked the Mark I miner, conveyor belt, storage container and electrical pole before I begin building any of these machines. Once those additional machines are unlocked, I can build a more useful and automated production line. The equipment workshop is where hand tools, personal equipment and upgrades are built. While out in the world you may come across power slugs. Collect them for later if you can reach them. Some will be out of reach until you unlock ramps, ladders, jetpacks or other tools. These copper nodes are close and will be useful for making copper wire and cable. The gradual grassy ramps will make it easier to walk to and to route conveyors and electrical lines. It is important to check and make sure access is possible before choosing a resource node. It is possible to jump down into a valley where a node is located only to find that you cannot easily get out. This becomes a non-issue later on when you gain access to mobility solutions. While I was locating copper, my iron miners were collecting iron ore. Now all I have to do is grab what I need. You may have noticed that I grab plants as I run through them. These plants provide leaves and wood, which will be needed when we fire up our biomass burners to power machines. If you grab what you see along the way, it helps ease the burden of collecting later. Building on the crafting bench can be very time-consuming. It is best to find ways to automate everything you can to avoid this whenever possible. I will skip over most of this so you can see what happens next.
Hub Upgrade 4, Landing Platform and Utilities completed. Conveyor belts connect the output of one building to the input of another and transport resources. Due to past incidents, I have been asked to issue a clarification. Portable miners, obviously, do not have a connection for conveyor belts. There is nothing to suggest, visually or functionally, that they can be connected to portable miners. If this is something you struggle with, do not worry. Fixit has alternative uses for all their pioneers. Next objective, complete Hub Upgrade 5.
The next upgrade will provide me with the automated miner and storage container I have been working towards. This was the last hub upgrade where I used the crafting bench for all needed components. Fast forwarding to the next step, where we plan our first production line.
Hub Upgrade 5, Power Expansion, completed. The miner, unlike portable miners, can be connected to conveyor belts and requires power to function. Caution: as you expand, the energy demand of your production may exceed the capacity of your power grid. The onboarding program was established because Fixit pioneers often experience memory issues after planetfall. If you are experiencing nosebleeds, nausea, existentialism, or an itchy scalp, there is no need for concern. This should pass within 5 to 7 workdays. Next objective, complete hub upgrade 6.
Before we begin our efforts toward Hub Upgrade 6 and building automated production, I wanted to stop off inside our hub to point out some very interesting things. It is now possible to customize your look. There is a mini-game on the desk. Not only does the toilet flush, but you can use it to dispose of things. If you played in early access, you would know that nuclear waste is extremely difficult to deal with. I wonder if flushing it will be possible. When planning a production line, a factory or anything really, I encourage you to use the to-do list, as it helps you ensure that you have all the things you need before you go to the location you plan to build. You can see my to-do list on the right side of the screen. I am building and collecting what I need before I head out. To build your own to-do list, just locate the plus and minus signs next to any machine in the build menu. You can add or remove machines from your plan at any time. When you actually build those machines, Satisfactory will automatically decrement the counters in your plan. Now that I have all the components I need, it is time to build my first production line. I use the scanner to look for the nearby copper nodes that I placed a portable miner on earlier. I decided to leave the portable miner in place for now, as I will only be building one automated line to produce copper wire for now. The portable miner can continue to provide me with copper ore in case I need to manually make something else on the crafting bench. I first build the miner and orient it toward a flat space where I can build other machines. A smelter is next, to smelt the copper ore from the miner into copper ingots. The dotted line shows us material flow direction and helps to align the inputs and outputs. If I hold control, it will snap into position. Connect the two machines using a conveyor belt. For this production line, I add a storage container at the end, as I will need a lot of wire in the next few hours of gameplay. The container allows the machines to run until the storage container is full, assuming I can keep them powered. Recipes must be configured for the machines that need them. After stepping back, I realize that I have already made a mistake. The smelter makes copper ingots. However, we still need a constructor to process the copper ingots into copper wire. Luckily, tearing down buildable objects returns all the materials spent on them, so all I have lost was a few minutes of time. Each machine has a red indicator on it, showing that they need power. I will need to run a power line all the way back to the hub where there are two biomass burners for power generation. Power poles provide a junction for multiple power lines. The only one we can build at this time is limited to 4 connections. I like to maximize the distance between power poles in the early game, as materials are limited and all of this is just temporary. It is another important thing to understand. We are currently building on the ground and are making production lines that are inherently not optimized. All of that is fine in the early game. As I unlock foundations, I can rebuild my production lines on level foundation floors. As I get more materials, I can add additional machines to maximize use of each resource node. For now, I build however I can and just accept that most everything is temporary. Seems I have run out of cable. In my plan, I must have underestimated how much was needed. I will simply make some more on the crafting bench so I can finish running this electrical line. First, I have to run back and get some copper to make the cable. Okay, I now have all the extra cable I should need.
Witness a single strand of the tapestry.
The astrobiologist Dr. D.M. Mercer was the first to recognize the presence and probable nature of these alien artifacts. These chain-melted state spheres are named in his honor. Each sphere emits a unique signal and will require study to determine local application, store it for later use.
Now I can complete this electrical run to the hub. The biomass generator only produces 20 megawatts of energy. There are 2 of these generators on the hub. They must be fed organic matter to function, and they burn through early materials like leaves very quickly. However, it is more efficient use of our time to feed the generators than it is to craft materials on the bench. Now that we are producing power, let's go verify that our wire production line is working. Now that we are producing power, I can check the power pole and verify that the machines are turning on by watching the changes in power consumption. I will next create production lines for iron plate and iron rods. At that point, I will likely have reached the maximum that the hub's 2 power generators can sustain, but the next few upgrades will be substantially easier with all the automation in place. As we can see, the lights on the machines are green, indicating that they are running now. And here we can see the wire is moving into the storage unit. I intend to deliver multiple playthrough videos for the earlier stages, at least until I reach blueprint access, at which point my video content will likely shift toward provided blueprint designs for all my viewers. Thank you all for watching, and please like and subscribe for more content.